morning, sir.
Good morning. Okay, you can revise what we have studied in the previous class until then. Just about 1 minute we will start. Okay. So, in our earlier class, we have discussed about the what is the structure of a bisexual flower. So, when we say bisexual flower, that means it is going to have both the male and female reproductive structures. The example here, whether it is a complete or incomplete flower.
Sir, a complete flower.
Yes, it is a complete flower because it is having all the 4 whorls. Okay, so we can just revise that the lower part here is the stalk. Okay, it is also called the pedicel, and the structure just above the stalk or the pedicel, on which all the 4 whorls of the flower will be situated, is the receptacle or thalamus. Just above that there may be some tissue that is going to produce the nectar. Okay, this tissue is known as the nectaries. So the first whorl of the flower from the outer whorl, the outermost whorl of the flower is called as the
sepal.
So when it is, they are the sepals. The sepals, they come under the category or the broad name that is called the calyx. Okay, the sepals are called the calyx. Okay, individual is a sepal and together that whorl is called a calyx. Okay, then the second whorl from the outside is called the corolla. Okay, corolla is formed by the combination of all the petals. So when the petals and sepals are joined together, or we are not able to distinguish them, these are known as the tepals. T-E-P-A-L-S, tepals. Just like we are saying sepals as calyx and petals as corolla, like that tepals are called as the perianth. That is the name given to this family or group, complete group. The perianth, because it is made up of combination of petal and sepal, it may look more like a sepal, then it is called sepaloid. If it is looking more like a petal, it is called petaloid. Okay, because you know that sepals are generally green in color. Okay, so in some of the flowers we may see this kind of structure where the petals you cannot make out, everything looks like this green only, looks like sepals. Similarly, in some flowers you can see like this, only it looks like this, the sepals and petals are all like looking like same. Okay, and mainly green in color. The petaloid means the tepal, they will be the non-green. Okay, like the tulips here, these are petaloid. We are not able to see these sepals below them in the tulip. Okay, so these are the 2 outermost whorls of the flower, which we say as the non-essential whorls. They are not essential, they are not directly involved in the reproduction. The direct involvement in the reproduction is by the gynoecium and androecium, therefore they are known as the essential whorls of the flower. Okay, so here we are able to see the male reproductive structure. It is going to have what? The long tube is known as the
Filament.
Filament. And at the end, in the top of that one, you can see either it is a bilobed structure, generally bilobed structure, it is called the anther. Okay, so the male reproductive structure is going to have two parts, one is the filament and other is the anther. Together it is called as the stamen. Together it is called the stamen, and many stamens like this together are called as the androecium. Okay, which is the common name for all the male reproductive structure in the flower. Okay, androecium. So inside this anther, we can see that the cross section, it is going to have the pollen sac. Okay, a sac is like a bag, a pollen sac, which is going to have many pollen grains. Okay, the pollen grains individually will look like this, like a ball or a spear, very small. Okay, we can see with our eyes, most of the pollens we can see with our eye, but they are quite small. Okay, so that is a general structure how they are looking like. Okay, next comes the innermost whorl of the flower. Okay, the innermost whorl of the flower is the gynoecium. Okay, gynoecium. Okay, it is made up of this top structure, which is going to receive the pollen, is called the stigma. Below that is the style, and the structure over here, which is having all the ovules in them, okay, is called the ovary. Okay, so inside the ovary we can see that these are the ovules. Ovules are nothing but the eggs. Okay, so together this whole structure is known as the pistil or carpel. Stigma, style, ovary. Okay, stigma, style, ovary. Broad, this is the anatomical feature. Inside the ovary, they are the ovules or the eggs. Okay, this is the female reproductive structure. So pistil or carpel, this whole structure, one single structure is called pistil or carpel. There may be different many ones of this one, together they are called the gynoecium. Okay, so that's what we are seeing, that in a flower there are the complete flower will have 4 whorls. Okay, next today we are going to discuss about the sexuality in flowers. Okay, till now we saw the basic anatomy of the flower. Now we are going to see what is the sexuality of the flower, whether it is a male flower, female flower, or it is having both male and female reproductive structures. What do we call them? So if the flower has both male and female reproductive structure, okay, if it is having both male and female reproductive structure, it is a bisexual or hermaphrodite flower. Okay, bisexual or hermaphrodite. Example are the most common we see is the hibiscus, rose, lily and tomato. Okay, they will contain both the stamens as well as the pistils or carpel. Okay, so we should be fluent with these terms. Okay, stamen, carpel, pistil, gynoecium, androecium, okay, sepal, petal, calyx, corolla. Okay, these are some common terms. The main reason why such a small chapter is put in between is you should get used to these terms. These same terms will be used in the further chapters. Okay, so bisexual or hermaphrodite. The other one is the unisexual or incomplete or imperfect. Okay, so under this one we have the example is papaya and palm. Okay, this is papaya and palm. They will have only one of these structures. either the male reproductive or the female reproductive structure. That is why it is called the unisexual or incomplete, imperfect flower. So it will have either the male or the female. The next one is the staminate or pistillate. Okay, staminate or pistillate. Either it will have only the male reproductive structure or only the female reproductive structure. Staminate. Another type is the neuter flower. Neuter. Neuter sounds something like neutral. Okay. So neutral, here example will be the ray florets of sunflower. Okay. So generally when you observe the sunflower, it will have a number of small florets will be there. Okay. So it is one flower, but it has many small florets inside it. So each of these florets they will have the female reproductive structure. Therefore we can say it is pistillate, but it is sterile. So sunflower is an example of a neutral flower that is pistillate but sterile. Okay. Next.
So sterile meaning?
Sterile means it will not be able to produce the fertile eggs. Okay, because the female one, the gamete is the eggs. Okay, so it is not able to produce the fertile eggs. So it is a sterile. Even if a fertilization takes place, the embryo or the zygote will not be formed. So we say it is a sterile. Next, the general description of the floral parts. So basically whatever we have discussed.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, if it will not be able to carry on the fertility, then how will it reproduce?
Yeah. So generally what is happening is when we are doing the sunflower cultivation, there are also some sunflower seeds also will be there. But mostly what people are doing is they may go for clonal, because when we are going for mass production of sunflower, okay, so then what they will do is they will go for clones. They will purchase by tissue culture and all those kind of plants they will purchase. For example, banana is there. Okay, so in banana also you see seeds are there inside when we eat the banana in the fruit.
Yes, sir. Yes.
But those seeds are very small, like the black, very small they may be. Most of these Cavendish bananas that we have these days, they don't have even that also. We are not able to make out that even seeds are there or not. So these are not able to germinate into a banana plant or tree. Okay. So when a person want to do the banana cultivation or farming, then they have to go for tissue culture. Otherwise what happens, wherever there is a banana plant is there, from the shoot or the bottom, the root, from there only the new plant will come. Okay, new plants will be coming there itself from its close to the root. So that is how it will propagate by itself, but we cannot use that method for farming. So at that time we go for the tissue culture. Yes.
So like there is a group name for the male reproductive part, that is androecium. So the group of the stamen is known as the gynoecium. So the androecium. So sir, like you said that gynoecium is the group name for the female part. So there are multiple pistils also in a flower.
Yes, so generally what happens is there will be one pistil commonly. One pistil or one carpel. The different floral structures are there. For example, we will see in the coming one also what we say there is an inflorescence. So there may be multiple small flowers may be there, some of the few. So there is so much diversity in the flowers. So this is only one typical example we are taking. Okay, so when such a condition will be there, at that time whatever that different flowers are there in the same plant, for example there are multiple flowers will be there on one plant, when we are referring